Hi and welcome, I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a terrain build. I try and do a terrain build every 7 to 10 days. For all my regulars here guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so on this terrain build, I'm going to continue with the boards. Now I've got an idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 2 boards, and I want to have some sort of ruined buildings that have platforms and shelves on the same height, so I can put little bridges across them. Okay, now I do have stuff that I can use as a little bridge, but I also want to try and make a few bridges, probably out of sprue, I'm thinking. So it's good things to use our sprues for afterwards. I'm going to bring you down and show you what I've set up so far, and then explain what I want to do, and then get about doing it. So guys, see you in a second. Right, so I've undercoated the boards black. There's 2 boards there. I'm going black with spray, and this is what I've done so far. Okay, this is the setup that I'm doing. Cat food boxes. Some people say, "Oh, what?" If you remember back a little while ago, I did some ruined buildings with cat food boxes, and they were very, very easy, very quick and simple, and they worked out very well. So I'm going to do the same with these now. Yeah, I'm going to trim this down. Obviously, these flaps are not going to be on here; they're going to take them away. I'm going to trim these down, and then try and work out where walkways are going to be between the 2. Okay, but I've still got this side of the board, so I can put bits like this. Yeah, or I could put other bits of terrain there. Because one thing I really like about these boards, they're not warping. Don't have to worry about weight distribution because they're not warping at all so far. So, I mean, this is the first build, so it's going to be the second one. So I'm going to go for 2 boards. I actually went to the hardware shop and I found this material. Okay, but it's in a sheet. It's $8.50 a sheet, but the sheet gives me 2 tiles. So 1 tile is enough to give me a 3x3 table, which is actually fantastic for playing games on. Now I have a spare one left over. But $8.50 for a sheet is quite expensive, only for 2 tiles. But again, these are from chest of drawers. Now you can get the sheets in bigger sizes, but then that involves you having to cut them down. So anyway, this is what's the setup is so far. I'm going to get a blade to it and start trimming stuff out and getting stuff ready, because nothing's glued down, it's all just loose, and figure out which way I'm going to do it, because I might even put this to one side and have the 2 smaller ones on the same tile. I'm not sure yet, but it's just this is the rough idea of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll see you in a second, guys. And here's where we are so far. Okay, so to the likes of this and the likes of this, I took a blade to. The rest of it I just cut by hand, just literally just pulled it apart. I mean, I did cut the first one down with a blade, yeah, and then I just said, you know what, that looks too uniformed. Let me just, you know, start working away and just by hands, just apart from cutting out bits and pieces. Now, I like this setup. The reason why I like this setup is I might have to just adjust it off a little bit, so I can have a walkway going across and a walkway going across. Walkways would have to be able to be taken apart, just so that I can have different formations of the tiles. But I like this gap here, so tanks can come down here. It gives tanks some sort of cover, because a lot of terrain in war games, tanks don't really have a lot of cover because they're big vehicles. But in this sort of setting, they would have a nice bit of cover to come through. There's still loads of space for vehicles to move around, units to move around, for other bits of terrain, like I said earlier, like this. They can just be put on, can be put sideways, can be put to one side, can be put over here, you know, or it could be put like this. Imagine these tiles would slap together, You know, it links everything, and I like it. I like it. The biggest problem I think I'm going to have with this is the strength of this cardboard, so I'm going to have to reinforce that before I start putting platforms on. Now, the way to reinforce it is to get a triangle piece and glue it in the corner so the two sides are together, yeah. And then when I put the platform on, have a triangle piece but have it glued to this and then glued to the platform. That's the best way to do that. But I don't want to put a platform on where the walkway is an angle. It's not a big issue if it is, but I'd rather not that. I'd rather have it as flat as possible. So with that said, I might have to trim a little bit more off the top here, but I don't really want to. I might have to cut a little hole in the side here so there's a shooting arcs, maybe the same again this side. But this is just initial, how is everything going to look type of thing. I mean, I might even have to cut a little window in here just so they can be shot out of and everything else. Again, I'm not too sure yet. I'm just basic dry fitting everything where it's going to go. Okay, and I've waffled on a bit too much. I'm going to crack on with it, guys, and I'll see you in a second. So here's where we're at so far. I've put in, so you can't really see, I've put in 2 floors. Okay, I should have probably roughed this little edge up a little bit more, but still can get a blade to it and start doing a bit pieces to it. So this one, I like the way this has come out. And there's 2 floors there. Now the idea is to put a walkway across. Now I was contemplating with myself, is it going to be a fixed walkway or a walkway that can be taken away? I'm leaning towards the idea of a walkway that can be taken away. There'll be some triangle supports under there just to hold it all up. But you can see that was slightly short, but it doesn't matter. I see some black paint there. It looks like it's gonna. But the bit that I'm really pleased with on this side, I've put a little balcony here. Now I'm going to try and cut a door there, which is not an issue. Or I can put some sort of door on there and just go from there. I'm sure I've got a few doors knocking around. I haven't even started stuff on this one yet, but as you can see, when you saw it and I set it up and I was just showing you where I was at, this was turned around. Okay, so the buildings were like in an L shape, but just it's one thing I love about these tiles. Just turn this tile around, and it's a totally different backfield. You know, I can't wait to get the rest of them done. But anyway, I'm going to I'll show you where I am. So I'm still contemplating about putting the flooring stuff on, or should I leave it blank, or should I don't know. Probably will put it on, but I just don't know yet. Definitely on the bottom here because there's a little gap, you know, where the cat food box is. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with it. I thought I'd just show you where I'm at now. See you in a second, guys. Right, so what I've done here, guys, this is an off-cut piece of Foamex. Okay, now what I've done is measured distance, not with a tape measure, I just measured it by eye, between the buildings. Okay, I'll just put it onto this box, give it a little spray down. I cut some of these strips as well. This is the same length. Okay, this big one as well is the same length. So give it a spray down, flip it over, give it another spray on the other side so it's all undercoat black. I'm then going to dry brush these guys with some silver, some rust effect and all that. Then I'm going to PVA glue them on to them. I still haven't done anything else over here yet, but the big walkway goes from here to here. Yeah, sorry, from here to here, and the small one goes from here. Something light goes from here to there. So I just need to put a platform in here and then start embellishing the building a little bit more. I'll work on the balcony. You can't see, it's too dark here. I'll work on the balcony a bit, do some railings and undercoat this bit. Let's get in there. Right, so I'm on to dry brushing stage now. I've got some Screaming Skull. The reason I've got Screaming Skull is because I went over this with black spray, then a really dark grey primer spray. So let me make out, it's a bit grey here and there. You can see it mostly on the stone here. That's the shade of grey it is. So when I dry brush it with the Screaming Skull, that should make all the rubble pop and all the panels pop and everything else. I've got some Leadbetter airbrush version because I'm going to dry brush all this. And then I've got some Troll Slayer orange just to do a few bits of dry brushing here and there, like along this bit on the metal here, just to make it look rustic. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't need to show you how to do that. If you're not sure about dry brushing or want to see a bit of dry brushing, then just chuck a comment below and I'll add dry brushing to it. So hopefully next time you see this, it'll all be finished. Oh, I've burnt umber dry brush to base, by the way. You see that? Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'll come back to you in a minute. So it's all done. I'm going to show you the different formations I can have with these two lovely tiles. I fit some models on here for your visual pleasure. So here we go, guys. Here's the first setup. Okay. Now, these bases here are actually from Immersive Terrain. If you're interested, go and check them out. Absolutely amazing skull bases. Perfect Chaos Space Marines and Demons of Khorne and stuff like that. There's the first setup formation. Okay. Also this, I never designed this walkway to go through the gap there that's going through. Okay, I never designed it to go through there, but it does. Now you can put one model on there and it's fine. But I wouldn't, you know, jam loads of models up there. I will just put the one model there, have the rest sitting here, and just say, okay, they're behind him. Just so it doesn't bow. But anyway, I'm going to show you a new formation for this. And here we are. All I've done is turn this tile around to the original way it was when I first started putting it together. As you can see, all the way goes perfectly. It goes perfectly there. We can also to this. So all I've done is turn this one around, left the walkway there, took the big walkway away, just moved the models around a little bit. That gap there is perfect for tanks and vehicles to go through. If I take this, the Rhino out of the way and get the forge fiend in here, look at that. Now don't get it wrong, I don't think you'll be able to get like a Land Raider through there, or you know, a Warlord Titan, or any, you know, a Warlord Knight, sorry, or anything, or any sort of Knights or anything like that. But you can see the size of this base. You see how much gap is either side. Still plenty of space. Chaplain up here. Let me take him down. The door was just two off-cut pieces of foam board. Damaged a piece, it damaged a bit of sprue cut across the front there. The railing again is a bit of sprue just cut and glued on there. Now I'm not happy with the railing because it's not 100%, you know, but it's damaged building, so it does add a little bit more realism to it. It doesn't look securely in place. Same with the door, there's no door frame. But again, the damage, the door's been messed up and everything else. It's a steel door. Door frame could have crumbled away and just the door's still sitting there, just held in place by dust and stuff like that. So I was going to cut a door in the back there, and I just said, you know what, leave it. Just put the door there and just leave it as it is. So there we have it, guys. Now bear in mind, each of these tiles can be turned 4 times. So this formation, this way, you know, each one. Then you imagine there's 3 tiles completed now. But you imagine there's going to be 9 tiles. I've got 8 here and I've got one big board up there to cut to get 2 tiles from. There'll be 9 tiles that can be twisted and changed and everything else. And this is absolutely amazing. I'm really, really happy with this, really pleased with this. I'm happy with this build more so than the first build. The reason why is this is the primary material used is empty cat food boxes. Now, my regulars here would have seen me make ruins out of empty cat food boxes before, but I just think this is fantastic. And the ones that I've made previously can easily come on and add, you know, anywhere else to make. I can't wait to get all these finished and get some games going on these boards. The only problem with this one now, how am I going to store it? I never think about storing it before I, you know, do it. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit here. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.